Hi everybody, weekend path chat covering the futures markets. We're going to cover some indices, energy, and then some metals. This is Bob Iacchino from Path Trading Partners along with Mike Arnold as always. I went over the entire economic calendar for the coming week on our weekend path chat update covering the FX markets. So if you're interested in our view on which numbers are important, the times, the estimates, etc., watch about the first 8 to 10 minutes of the FX video on the same YouTube channel. Before I turn it over to Mike, just a couple of quick comments. Mike is going to talk about the Dow, the S&P, the Nasdaq, crude oil, copper, gold, and silver in that order. On the future side of things, the S&P has now completed 9 up weeks in a row, and 14 of the last 17 weeks have all been positive in terms of the change. That's pretty impressive. That's basically since the election on the 14 of 17. The Dow Jones Industrial Average has completed 6 up weeks in a row now, so not quite as impressive as the S&P, but still, again, a good run. Nasdaq, also 9 up weeks in a row. So again, very impressive, very parabolic runs for the equities. Crude oil, on the other hand, continues within that channel. Looked like it might break out last week, but we ended up with a down week this week. So we are back in that channel, and there's some pretty critical things that Mike's going to point out to you on the crude oil chart. Copper, up week after the previous 2 being down weeks. The supply concerns continue there, and now you've got some potential strong demand coming into that supply. And then in the gold markets, gold fell, but still kind of hovering around the upper end of the recent little correction up that we've had. Gold has now had 8 of 10 up weeks for the precious metal. So let me turn it over to Mike to show you what the charts are telling him for next week.
Okay, thank you very much, Bob. So you see the Dow here, still have this unfilled gap, rallied up to the key 25% GAN projection level. 2144.68 was that level. And we pulled back to a prior GAN cluster right around the 2993 to 2100. If we continue lower, watch for potential support right around the 2887, followed by a gap fill back to 2851.33. A move higher, watch for 21,144.68. If we get through that, the next key level higher is 21,291.35. S&P pulled back pretty strongly. If we move lower on Monday, Sunday night futures, Monday, watch for a test of 2370.75. That's a prior breakout zone, followed by a rising 8 EMA. Another level below that, should we pull back even more, is 2367.47. And then we have the rising trend line and the 21 coming into play for a rotation play. On a move back up, first level higher is 2384.03, followed by 2397.31, followed by the 2412 levels higher. Nasdaq pulled back to a prior breakout zone, dipped below it on Friday, caught on the 8 EMA and the rising lower channel line. So we still have a rising wedge in here. Then we turned around and moved higher. On a continued move higher, watch for a test of the 5,400 level, which is what the prior high was that we pulled back strongly on. Then if we move again higher, I'm watching for the 5,425 level. If we do break below this channel line, I'm looking for a pullback to the first pullback to 5297 level, which also comes in with a rising 21 EMA. So that's a key GAN level and a rising 21. Switch over to crude for a second. Crude, we came down to around the 5265 GAN level, and it provided support, rallied back up to the flat moving averages at level through to 5313. Next level's higher, 5361. Then we start getting into the area that was this prior last congestion, right around the 54 mark, where we have GAN levels and declining trend line. So watch for key resistance up there. Should we turn around and go back lower? Watch for a test of last week's lows right around the 52.54. And then next levels lower are the 52.17, followed by the 51.69 Gann level and target level for a down move. Over to metals. Copper rallied up part of last week. We had a pretty decent sell-off on Thursday, straight to a Gann level cluster of 22.68. Rallied on Friday back to another Gann level at 270. Continued rally next week, or especially Monday. 272.94 is next levels, followed by the 275.28 and the declining trend line. This rising trend line is very key now. It's got multiple touches or near touches on it. Should we get below Friday's low, which was 267.75, then watch for a move down to the 265.93 level to the 265.58 level. If that's broken, finally watch for a retest of the 263.67 area. And then below that, we have a significant level at 261.60. Over to gold. Gold did break below the rotation zone last week and closed back on the rotation zone. So this is pretty significant. If we get back going lower, watch for a 1230 test followed by a 1222 test. That 1222 level is also coming in pretty close to 1220, rising 50-period exponential moving averages and these other key lows in a prior breakout zone. So that's going to be pretty key support. On a rally higher, we're watching for a test of the 1243 Gann cluster area. Then we have a 1247 significant level and another 1249 to 1250 Gann cluster area. So there's lots of resistance overhead. This also did rally back to kiss this broken trend line goodbye, but it already reached the target of that on Friday. Finally, on silver, had that massive pullback on Thursday, just closing below key Gann level 17,824. Then we sold off on Friday to test this trend line that's been in place for quite a while, and it was a successful test, and that trend line did hold, and it rallied back to key resistance Gann level of 1799. On a move higher, watch for 1810 to a cluster at 1820, followed by 1832, which is a prior breakdown zone and Gann level. So those are your key levels higher. I'm actually going to remove this trend line now since it's reached its targets. And that's all I have for you. If we do break below Friday's lows, watch for a test of about the 1755 followed by the 1746 level. There's going to be some pretty substantial support in at that level. That's all I have for you. Back to you, Bob.
Thank you, Michael. Expecting an exciting week with the huge shift in rate hike expectations from the Fed, more than tripling from the prior week, from 17.8 to 18% probability of a March rate hike to 79.7% where they sit right now. But maybe more exciting than that, a new Money Path podcast is out. You can get it directly at our website, pathtradingpartners.com, or type in the Money Path podcast into your iTunes or Google Play search bar, and it should pop up. Let us know if it doesn't. If you find these videos useful or you like them, you could click the like button on YouTube there. You could also leave us a comment. Please subscribe to this channel. Click the red subscribe button, and then when the little bell icon comes up, click that to allow alerts from YouTube. They'll shoot an email directly to your inbox when we put out one of these time-sensitive videos. Follow us on Twitter, path_trading. Like us on Facebook, Path Trading Partners. And visit us at our website, pathtradingpartners.com. If you don't want to leave a comment here and you do want to reach us, you can send us an email at support@pathtradingpartners.com. Hope you're having a great weekend. We will see you guys Monday.